Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Williard Waterman in an episode of The Great Gildersleeve. This goes back to April 7th, 1954. French lessons are being done in Summerfield, and it looks like somebody's in trouble over them. Let's listen.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Williard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. Well, it's late afternoon in Summerfield, and the Great Gildersleeve just stopped next door to visit his niece, Marjorie. Incidentally, Marjorie's husband left the real estate business to take a job with a new plant in town, and being an ambitious young fellow, a lot of opportunities are coming his way.
I'm glad you stopped by, Unky.
Well, I hadn't seen you for a few days, my dear.
Bronco phoned this afternoon, and he has good news from the plant.
Oh? What is it?
Well, he wanted to wait until he came home to tell me. He should be here any minute.
What do you suppose Bronco's working up to now? Chairman of the board?
I wouldn't be surprised. He's always said someday he was going to bring me the moon.
Oh, my goodness. I hope he doesn't try to bring it home on the bus.
Oh, he's the most wonderful husband, Unky.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
You kids have been married 4 years, and you're still up your ears in mush.
Oh, there he is. I'll go meet him.
Yeah, what a couple.
Hi, Marge, honey.
Hello, Bronco, darling.
Youth.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Bronco.
Oh, I didn't see you standing there.
You kids can't see anybody but each other. I hear you have big news.
Yes, I can hardly wait.
Marge, how would you like to go to Paris?
Paris?
Paris, Texas?
No, Paris, France. Ooh la la.
Bronco, do you mean it?
Yeah, Paris in the spring, tra-la-la-la.
Yeah, Bronco.
Paris in the spring, tra-la-la-la.
Bronco, stop dancing with yourself and tell us what this is all about.
Well, it's like this. The president called me into his office today and said, Thompson, how would you like to be assistant to our branch manager in Paris?
Oh, Bronco.
Well.
Yeah, and I said...
When do we leave? I haven't a thing to wear.
Yeah, and I said...
Of course, I can get oodles of clothes in Paris, but before I leave, I'll need a couple of traveling suits, and I'll need evening dresses for the dances aboard ship.
Marge, you haven't heard what I told the president.
What did you tell him?
Yeah, what did you tell him?
I told him I haven't a thing to wear.
Oh.
Bronco Thompson, you did not.
No, I told him I was honored and that I'd talk it over with my little wife.
Well, we talked it over. Let's go.
Oh, not so fast. Let's not start packing yet.
No?
No, we won't be going for at least 2 months.
2 months?
Well, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity, kids, but I hate to see you go. We'll miss you. Leroy, Bertie, all of us.
I know, Unky.
Oh, we aren't going permanently, Mr. Gildersleeve. It'll just be for a couple of years at the most.
Well, that won't be too bad.
I think the experience will be good for me.
And then Bronco can come back and run one of their plants over here, Unky.
Yeah, sure. Oh, look, Marge, I bought a French-English dictionary today. It says here, amortisseur. You know what that means?
Amortisseur. Sounds like it has something to do with love.
No, it means shock absorber.
Now, there's a word you'll have a lot of use for.
Well, I want to learn something about the language. I mean, I can't just go over there and make signs at everybody.
And you can if you have money in your hand.
No, yeah, but I'm going to learn how to parlez-vous française.
Well, if you're that serious about it, I know just the person to teach you. My friend Marie Olson.
Oh, is she the Swedish girl, Unky?
Yeah, but she speaks 5 languages. French, Italian, Spanish.
Oh, she speaks all the Romance languages, eh, Mr. Gildersleeve?
You bet. Even the way she speaks English is romantic.
Do you think you can get her to teach Bronco, Unky?
Oh, sure. I have quite a bit of influence with Marie.
Oh, swell. Will you give her a ring on the phone?
Yeah, all right, but I'd much rather ring her doorbell. Yeah, I think I'll stop and see Peavy until time to pick up Bronco. You'll be surprised to know that Bronco and Marjorie may go to France. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. On your way home from the office?
No, I'm on my way to Marie Olson's. I'm taking Bronco with me.
Is he your chaperone these days?
No, Marie's volunteered to give him French lessons. You see, Bronco's company wants him to go to Paris, Peavy.
You don't say.
You know Eager Beaver Bronco. He wants to learn the language right away. Could be a great opportunity for him.
Well, when I was a younger man, I was given the opportunity to go to Paris.
Oh?
All expenses paid.
Is that right?
By the U.S. Army, World War I.
Oh, I didn't think you lived there.
Mr. Gildersleeve, when I was in Paris, I lived. I'm here to tell you. Mademoiselle from Armentières, parlez-vous. Mademoiselle from Armentières.
All right, Peavy.
I even got a letter from a French girl after I came home.
You did?
Perhaps I should go to Miss Olson's for French lessons myself.
You, Peavy?
I'd like to know what was in that letter.
You know Mrs. Peavy wouldn't let you do that.
No, that would be more dangerous than World War I. By the way, has Marjorie met Miss Olson?
No, she hasn't.
I didn't think so.
What do you mean, Peavy?
Well, I was just wondering if she knew how attractive Miss Olson is. A lot of wives wouldn't want to run that risk, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, nonsense, Peavy. Marjorie's 100% for the lessons. She has no reason to be jealous.
Yeah, sometimes a woman doesn't need a reason.
What?
Mrs. Peavy had no reason, but she was always jealous of me and Mary Pickford.
Mary Pickford?
She caught me with Mary's picture.
Did she send you a picture?
No, one morning at breakfast, it dropped out of a cereal bar.
Well, that couldn't have been serious.
That's what you think. Mrs. Peavy nearly shredded my wheat.
See you later, Peavy. Well, this is where Marie lives, Bronco.
Oh, nice neighborhood, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, it's quite a break for me, you're knowing a girl who speaks French.
Yeah. Sometimes I think she'd like to talk turkey with me.
Oh, she really likes you, huh, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yeah, does a kitten like cream?
Hello, Throckmorton.
Yeah, I guess the kitten does.
Hello, Marie.
Won't you come in?
Thank you. Miss Olson, I want you to meet my niece's husband, Mr. Thompson.
How do you do, Mr. Thompson?
No, it's a pleasure meeting you, Miss Olson. It's very nice of you to try to teach me a little French.
Oh, when Throckmorton called me, I thought it a wonderful idea. Of course, Throckmorton always has wonderful ideas.
Yeah, Marie. Don't start tossing me bouquets just because I happen to have good ideas.
Mr. Gildersleeve's a very accommodating fellow.
Thank you, Bronco.
Now, let's see. Where shall we begin?
Oh, before we start, Miss Olson, I feel I should pay you for the lessons.
Oh, goodness, no. It's a pleasure to help any relative of Throckmorton. And now I'm certain you're anxious to begin, Mr. Thompson. Si vous voulez m'excuser, je vais chercher les notes que j'ai préparées pour votre première leçon.
Huh?
She's speaking French, Bronco.
Oh, I know, but what did she say?
I said I'll get the notes I've prepared for your first lesson. Excusez-moi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bronco, that meant excuse me.
How do you know?
Well, she left the room, didn't she?
Mr. Gildersleeve, she has a beautiful speaking voice.
Yeah, quite a girl.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll have me talking like that. Si vous voulez m'excuser, je vais chercher la note.
Bronco, tell him to hold the boat. You won't be ready in 2 months.
Unky, are you home?
Yes, Marjorie, come in.
I'm thought I saw you come home. Isn't it exciting, Unky? Just imagine living in Paris.
Yeah, that'll be the life.
Did you take Bronco over for his French lesson?
Oh, yes, indeed. I left him in Marie's capable hands.
Gee, it's wonderful of you to help him like this.
Oh, not at all, my dear. Glad to do it.
Do you think he'll like French?
Well, he's quite impressed with his teacher.
Oh, really?
Oh, she has a lot of personality, Marjorie. Very attractive girl.
Oh?
And the minute she left the room, the first thing Bronco did was comment on her speaking voice. It's kind of musical, soft, caressing, you know.
I'm not sure I do.
Well, she's different from you, my dear. She's sort of a Zsa Zsa Gabor with a lot of Zsa.
She sounds very interesting.
Oh, she is. A real woman of the world.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Leroy.
Hello, my boy. How's school?
Only 48 days left.
You sound as if you'll be glad when it's over.
Are you kidding? When they ring that last bell, I'm not even going down the stairs. I'll zip right out the window like a canary out of a cage. Where's Bronco?
Oh, I left him with Miss Olson.
Hey, it's getting late. Marge, is the pretty French teacher keeping your husband after school?
Oh, don't be silly.
I'm not being silly. She's quite a dish, huh?
Watch it, young man. Let's not refer to Miss Olson as a dish.
I'm just paying her a compliment.
Have you seen her, Leroy?
Yeah, man.
Leroy.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment.
All right.
Well, Bronco should certainly be home by now.
What are you worried about? You got him hooked.
Who says I'm worried?
Now, Leroy, let's not say things to upset Marjorie.
I'm not upset. Why should I be upset?
Excuse me, Miss Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie?
Oh, hello, Miss Marjorie.
Hello, Bertie.
I just want to know if all of us is going to be here for dinner. I got a big roast.
Well...
For all we know, Bronco may be eating out.
Young man.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Bertie, but we have to go as soon as Bronco comes from his French lesson.
Oh, did he get started, Miss Olson, today?
Well, he's anxious to learn.
That's some teacher he's got. Red hair, green eyes, and a velvet voice.
Bertie, you haven't even seen her.
No, sir, but I talked to her over the phone. And what she's got comes over the phone.
Really? I don't know why we're spending so much time talking about Miss Olson.
Yeah, Marjorie's right. Let's talk about something else, Leroy. Bertie.
Well, I didn't know she was a sore subject. Sorry, Miss Marjorie.
Well, there's nothing to be sorry about.
Hurry, old Prontom, tra-la-la-la.
Well, here's Bronco.
Oh, Prontom, tra-la-la-la.
Bronco, stop it.
Oh, hi, Marge, honey. I was singing part of my French lesson.
What are you going to be, a singing French waiter?
Leroy, let me give you some advice. While you're in school, take French.
It's safer than waiting until I get married.
What do you mean?
Tell him, Marge.
Come along, Bronco. Let's go home and I'll fix your dinner, and unless you've already eaten.
Well, what makes you think I've had dinner, Marge?
Well, you're a little late. Do you know what time it is?
I know it's time Bertie went to the kitchen.
What? Well, I didn't realize it was so late. Well, Miss Olson made the lesson so interesting, I didn't know what time it was.
Oh, brother. Well, I'll tell you what time it is. It's time you gave up those ridiculous French lessons.
Zeke, I'm glad I'm not in this.
Yeah, but, Marge, you thought it was a great idea.
It wasn't my idea. It was Uncle Mort's.
See, I am in it.
Marge, honey, how will I ever learn French?
Let's stick to some plain English. You go home.
Why, Marge?
No, Marjorie, if you take my advice.
And that's the trouble. We took it.
But...
Hey, Aunt, can I come out from under the couch now?
Yes. Bertie, let's have the roast.
I thought we just had a roasting.
What a family.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute.
April 7th, 1954, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, Call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of The Great Gildersleeve, April 7th, 1954.
Well, things are usually quiet and peaceful around the Great Gildersleeve's house, but last night there were some fireworks. When Gildersleeve arranged for Marjorie's husband to take French lessons from a very pretty girl, he got the book thrown at him.
Bertie, I think Marjorie was very unreasonable about this.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm neutral.
I know how you can settle the whole thing, Unc.
What's this, Leroy?
Just go over and tell Marjorie how unreasonable she is.
Leroy, you're just trying to stir things up again.
Yeah.
I wonder how Bronco's making out over there. Bertie?
Bertie's neutral.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering if you'd care to slip over there for a cup of sugar and find out how things are.
I already been over there on the pretext of borrowing some eggs.
Oh?
And about an hour after, I was over there pretending we was out of bread.
How were things?
Well, that's the first time Bertie ever saw icicles hanging in the house in April.
Hey, here comes Bronco now, sneaking in the back way.
That poor Mr. Bronco. Of course, I'm neutral.
No, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Come in, Bronco.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Morning, Mr. Bronco.
Hi. Sneaked out of the house, huh, Bronco?
No, I just have something to discuss with Mr. Gildersleeve.
You're all right, Bronco.
Excuse me, I'm neutral anyway.
Leroy?
I'm going to stay. I'm on your side.
Young man, leave the field.
Okay, but if you get into trouble again, don't call me.
That boy. Well, Bronco, what's on your mind? I hope you don't feel I'm responsible for your little tip.
No, it's not your fault.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and Marge is getting over it.
Good.
Yeah, she got up 5 minutes early this morning, had my breakfast on the table, and didn't even burn the toast.
Wonderful. What'd you have to say?
Well, she didn't talk to me, but she didn't burn the toast.
Well, that's a good sign.
The way I see it, Mr. Gildersleeve, marriage is a matter of give and take.
Well, yes.
And I've decided to give.
Good boy.
Yeah, next time I see Miss Olson, I'll just make some excuse for dropping the lessons.
Well, by George, I think you're right, Bronco. But I wouldn't wait. I'd get on the phone right now and call him off.
Good idea. Yeah, I'll do it. Yes, sir. Clear it up once and for all. Oh, what's Miss Olson's number?
Lilac 279.
The lilac, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, the clouds are beginning to roll away.
You bet.
La, 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 la.
Unky.
Oh, Marjorie. I didn't hear you come in.
Unky, I'm so sorry about the way I behaved.
Well.
It was silly of me to give a second thought to Miss Olson.
Hello? Miss Olson?
Bronco Thompson!
Hey, has it started again?
Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
Peavy, you can give me an aspirin and a swift kick.
Very well. I'll have to charge you for the aspirin, but the kick is on the house. What's the trouble, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, Marjorie's upset about Bronco taking French lessons from Marie Olson. She's letting her imagination run away with her.
I was afraid of that.
Well, I've learned my lesson. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. Well, I am. As it stands now, Marjorie blames me for the whole thing.
Well, I can understand how a woman like Miss Olson could rock a man's boat.
Yeah, but if Marjorie only knew how fond Marie is of me, she... Say, isn't that Marie out front?
No, it isn't Mrs. Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Peavy.
Well, hello, Miss Olson.
And Throckmorton.
Hello, Marie.
You're just the man I want to see. Mr. Thompson called me this morning.
Yes, I know about that.
He offered no explanation. Perhaps you can tell me what happened?
Well, quite a few things have happened.
Did he decide not to go abroad?
He almost had to leave last night.
I don't understand.
As a matter of cold fact, Marie, my niece objected to Bronco taking lessons from you.
Oh?
A little jealousy, I believe. too attractive a teacher.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, Peavy warned me.
He warned you about me?
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve,
What I mean is, Mr. Peavy thinks you're pretty devastating.
Why, Mr. Peavy, do you feel that way about me? Mr. Peavy, you're blushing.
Well, I feel like a little boy caught in the cookie jar.
Oh, Mr. Peavy, I think you're devastating, too.
Thank you. Hey, now.
Oh, my goodness.
Throckmorton, you have me concerned. What can I do to make a friend of your niece?
Well, I have a suggestion.
I thought you weren't going to make any more suggestions.
Marjorie's never met you. Why not come out for an evening and we'll all get together?
I think that would be wonderful.
You bet. We'll clear the air.
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve, but are you sure you're not blowing up another storm?
Oh, Peavy, if your wife was jealous of Marie here, you know it would help if you brought her home and introduced her to Mrs. Peavy.
No, I wouldn't say that.
And the conclusion of The Great Gildersleeve from April 7th, 1954, and an episode of the soap opera Claudia will be coming up in our next half hour. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. But first...
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
You've heard me talking for over 3 years about MyPillow and the great products they have. There's some great specials right now when you go to mypillow.com/radio specials. You can find Giza Dream Sheets as low as $39.99. 6-piece MyPillow towel sets, deeply discounted, $39.95. And of course, half price My Slippers, which make my feet feel wonderful. All sorts of great products, including the MyPillow mattress topper, a MyPillow for the rest of your body. Go to mypillow.com/radio specials. That's mypillow.com/radio specials. Use my promo code USA, or you can call 1-800-951-8175. That's 1-800-951-8175. mypillow.com/radio specials, promo code USA. You clean everything else in your house, why don't you clean the air? It's easy to do with an Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier. They're under $200 for a 3-pack. You can put one in the kitchen, you can put one in the living room, you can put one in that room that you always flush. Go to EdenPureDeals.com, put in my promo code CLASSIC3, and you'll save $200. EdenPureDeals.com, discount code CLASSIC3, and you'll also get free shipping. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Great Gildersleeve. This episode from April 7th, 1954.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie?
How's Miss Marjorie and Mr. Bronco getting along in the parlor?
Well, things are pretty well patched out, but I'm going to prove to Marjorie that Miss Olson's interested only in me.
Yes, sir?
Yeah, when Miss Olson comes, I'm going to make Marjorie think things are pretty serious between us.
Miss Olson will like that.
Right?
I know she's had her eye on you for a long time. That comes over the phone, too.
No, I'm not getting involved, Bertie. I'm too fast on my feet for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just doing this to impress Marjorie.
Yes.
Yeah, I better join the kids.
Miss Gildersleeve,
Yes?
I know you're fast on your feet, but don't stumble.
Kiddies, am I intruding?
Not at all, Mr. Gildersleeve. Marge and I are still making up.
Oh, Bronco, let's not talk about it anymore. When are you going for Miss Olson, Unky?
Oh, she's coming in a cab.
You're letting her come in a cab?
Well, I haven't told you, Marjorie. But Marie and I are fairly close to an understanding.
What do you mean?
Well, I may pop the question one of these days.
Yeah? Well, may I be the first to congratulate you?
Now, wait a minute, Bronco. Oh, excuse me. That must be Marie. I'll let her in.
Well, you see, Marge, she doesn't like me. She likes your uncle.
She's probably too old for you anyway.
Marie, come in.
Thank you, Throckmorton.
Here, let me take your hat. You look lovely tonight, as usual.
Thank you.
She is attractive.
No, just an ordinary type. Red hair, green eyes, good figure, and an accent.
Now, I want you to meet Mr. Thompson's wife, my niece, Marjorie.
I've been looking forward to this, Mrs. Thompson.
How do you do, Miss Olson?
Yeah, and of course you know Bronco. Mr. Thompson.
Hello again, Mr. Thompson.
Miss Olson?
I've been anxious to have the little family meet you, Marie. My dear. I like to have everyone's approval.
Why, Throckmorton.
Well, Marie, suppose you sit over here on the couch by me.
I'll be very happy to sit by you.
Can you imagine Unky like this, Bronco?
No, he's got it bad.
Marjorie, you look surprised. But it just happens that Marie and I hit it off right from the start. Didn't we, Marie?
I found your uncle a delightful companion, Marjorie. May I call you Marjorie?
Of course you may, Marie.
I like that.
Well, we're practically just one big happy family. We must do a lot of double dating together.
Oh, it sounds like fun.
Just as long as I have Throckmorton to myself some of the time.
I'm getting in pretty deep here.
Really, Bronco, I think we'd better go.
What? Oh, yeah.
No, not yet. It's early.
Maybe it's late for them.
Oh, yeah. Besides, you two lovebirds don't want to sit around with an old married couple like us.
But, Bronco, please.
Yeah, come on, Marge. Good night, Miss Olson.
Good night, Mr. Thompson. I wish you luck in Europe.
Oh, thank you.
She's very nice, Unky. I hope you'll be very happy.
Yeah, but...
Good night, Marie. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of each other.
I hope so. Good night, Marjorie.
They left in a hurry, didn't they?
They were very discreet. And now that we're alone, you may begin where you left off, dear.
Zeke, maybe I'd better catch a boat to Europe. Folks, this is Gildersleeve again, with some facts about cancer. It's an ugly word, but we have to face it, because every 2 1/3 minutes, someone in the United States dies of cancer. It strikes in 1 of every 2 American homes. Now, these people aren't numbers on a chart. They're our neighbors, our friends, and our relatives. And no one knows who the next victim will be. That's why it's our personal responsibility, each one of us, to help science defeat cancer once and for all. The way we can help is to give generously to the American Cancer Society. So today, mail your contribution to cancer, care of your local post office. Thanks, and good night.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Williard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Mary Lee Robb, Dick Crenna, Gladys Holland, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Easton saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
From April 7th, 1954, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia, this episode from April 7th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
David, what are you hammering in there in the bedroom?
I'm not hammering. I'm trying to get this bureau drawer open.
Is it stuck?
No, it's just a little reluctant.
Never stuck before. What have you done to it?
Didn't do anything. Maybe it heard we were going to Aunt Louisa's for dinner.
Oh.
A nice drawer. Doesn't want me to get it there at all.
What good does thumping do? You can't hit the drawer loose, can you?
No, but it makes me feel a lot better.
David, what are we going to talk about when we get to Aunt Louisa's?
We can talk about the present she's going to give us.
Oh, you're lucky you haven't seen it yet. It's a big umbrella stand, a sort of Chinese vase. You put the umbrellas in it?
No?
I've detested it ever since I was a baby. And now I'm going to have it in my own house.
Well, sounds nice. We'll, have to buy some umbrellas.
Umbrellas are bad enough, but this, David, it's awful. And it's so big we won't have room for it even if we could carry it, which we can't. It weighs a ton.
Ooh, sounds fine. We can use it to keep the roof from blowing off, or maybe for a spare chimney.
The worst thing is we have to put it somewhere in the house, or Aunt Louisa will be terribly disappointed. It'll be her housewarming present to us.
We don't need a housewarming present. We just put in a new heating system.
Aunt Louisa is the most generous relative I have.
Well, I wish she weren't so generous. If she were just a little bit stingier, she might give us something so small that we could squeeze it through the farm door.
Why don't we talk to her about the farm? Sort of a hint.
That's great. I'll say, Aunt Louisa, we just bought a big farm with a tiny house. Then what'll she say?
She'll say, how exciting. Claudia's great-great-aunt Matthias lived on a farm.
And I'll say I didn't know Claudia had a great-great-aunt Matthias.
And she'll say, Claudia, didn't you know he was your grandmother's uncle and his son's grandchildren of the Boston Browns? I don't see why you children don't ever get together.
Oh, that's the only aunt I ever knew of that was an uncle. I don't see why either.
No matter what we start talking about, Aunt Louisa will find a relative who got there first. I wonder if Aunt Louisa's interested in farming.
I'm afraid that's all she's interested in. I think the only thing she's interested in is giving us a big present. And in her asthma and in her relatives.
Now, please, David, think what else we're going to talk to her about. I mean, that she'll be interested in.
Well, we'll talk to her about how much we like her umbrella stand. That'll take some time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk about how much we enjoy having it.
Yes.
That'll take more time. Then, well, after all, we don't have to get there till dinner.
Isn't it lucky she has dinner at 7:30 and not at 7?
Are you sure it's 7:30?
Maybe it's 7, but I don't think so. We can go home sooner afterward when it's later. That's consoling.
Mm-hmm. Very, very.
David, do you think any of her other relatives ever come for dinner?
I wonder what they talk about.
Oh, she probably tells them all about us. Just the way she tells us about them.
Someday we ought to have a big reunion and swap notes on Aunt Louisa's conversation.
Oh, look at you.
Uh-oh. What have I done now?
You've been getting dressed the whole time we've been talking. That is not fair.
Well, don't worry, darling. Because when I'm dressed, I'm going to sit down, smoke a pipe, read a book. I'm going to dawdle along like an Arkansas mule on an August afternoon. We won't get there a second too soon.
It's only 6 o'clock. So please take a half an hour to pick out your tie. And when you dawdle, please go slow. David, are we very late?
Only about 10 minutes. And wouldn't you know that Aunt Louisa would have a knocker on her door instead of a simple little electric bell?
Maybe she'll give us a knocker for the housewarming present instead of the umbrella stand.
Not a chance. It's too practical.
Right.
Claudia, my child, it's you and David. How nice. How nice.
Hello, Aunt Louisa. We're very glad to be here.
Hello, Aunt Louisa.
You look excellent, Claudia. Expectant motherhood always makes a woman look excellent. Do come in. Do come in.
Well, here we are.
Put your coat down, child. Put it right there on the chair. Osgood will hang them up for you when he finishes getting dinner ready.
There it is, the umbrella stand.
Wow. That's all right, Aunt Louisa. I think we can manage them by ourselves.
You can? Oh, that's fine. Well, child, aren't you grateful to have a strong young man around the house? Particularly now that you're not so well.
But I'm fine, Aunt Louisa. You just said
I know, my dear, but you must be careful. Very careful. Oh, very. David, are you being very careful of Claudia?
Aunt Louisa, you are underestimating the power of my wife. I just hope that Claudia will be very careful of me.
What was that? Oh. Well, here we are, just the three of us. Isn't that nice? I thought of having some second cousins, but...
Oh, this is much nicer, really.
It was very sweet of you two to come out here to see me. And I want to hear all about your sweet little farm. Before dinner, even.
Then we aren't late?
Oh, my dear, no. You're very early.
We are, Aunt Louisa?
That's what's so very nice about this little visit. We never sit down to eat until at least 8:30. That gives us plenty of time to...
8:30.
It's all habit. But you, poor boy, you sound hungry. Still, we shan't give you a thing to spoil your appetite. Shall we, Claudia?
8:30?
Well, I suppose that is rather late for some people. It's a question of what one is accustomed to. If David is very, very hungry, we may give him a nice raw carrot.
A raw...
That's very kind of you, Aunt Louisa, but I'd rather not spoil my appetite with a raw carrot.
Never turn up your nose at raw carrots, David. They're full of vitamin A, and they're supposed to be good for eyes.
Really?
And I find they're quite helpful for my asthma.
How is your asthma, Aunt Louisa?
Yes.
Just the same as always. Better one day.
Good.
Worse the next.
Good.
What's that? We won't say a word about it.
Well, if you don't want us to, Aunt Louisa, we certainly won't.
Right now, it's better. I think I've only had one attack in the last 2 weeks. Isn't this nice? We have a whole 3/4 of an hour to talk before dinner.
Yes.
Let's sit down and have a good talk, children.
I've always loved your house, Aunt Louisa. Don't you like it, David?
Oh, I think it's charming. Really charming. Yes, it's charming.
I'm glad you like it, David. I know Claudia always has.
Yes.
But I want to hear about the sweet little farm you've bought up in Connecticut. Claudia comes very naturally by her love for farming. I'm not a bit surprised. Not the least bit.
Her great uncle, you mean?
Well, he really isn't a great uncle. Why, yes, he is her great uncle, Ralph. How did you know? Did Claudia's mother tell you?
Well, not exactly. We just sort of...
Uncle Ralph was a great farmer. It ran in his blood. Now it's running in Claudia's. He had a 400-acre farm up in New Hampshire.
400 acres?
Oh, yes. I'm sure it was 400. You see, child, you come by it naturally. Isn't life fantastic, David? Really fantastic.
Sometimes it is, Aunt Louisa. And other times it seems to turn out exactly the way you expect it to.
Sometimes it does, but not always. This evening, for example, isn't turning out the way I expected at all.
It isn't? It's turning out just the way we expected.
Well, child, you knew you were going to be early, and now we're going to have this nice little talk. But I didn't know it.
That's true, Claudia. You can't disagree.
No. Now, oh dear, I meant to wait until later to tell you about it. I can't seem to restrain myself.
There's no great hurry, Aunt Louisa, whatever it is.
That's sweet of you. but it's going to give me so much pleasure that I just can't control myself. Isn't it terrible to be so weak? Age, I suppose. Age.
Well, if it's really going to give you pleasure, well, Aunt Louisa, please, whatever it is, you go right ahead and do it.
Yes, please do.
Claudia and David, I want to give you a present for your new farm.
Aunt Louisa, that's so sweet of you, but really, we weren't expecting anything at all. And
we really don't need anything.
No.
Nonsense. You need everything. Two young people moving to a farm, you need all sorts of things. Seeds and plows and all sorts of things like that. Then you need things for your house. That umbrella stand in the hall. I saw you looking at it, David.
Yes, it's quite an umbrella stand.
It's irreplaceable, David. There's not another one in the world like it.
I can imagine.
Weighs over 100 pounds. It's real English china.
You must be very attached to it.
I am, David. But I'm not the only one who is. Ever since she was a little girl, Claudia has admired that umbrella stand.
So she told me.
I promised Claudia that when she grew up enough to have a home of her own, I'd give her that umbrella stand.
Oh, Aunt Louisa, you shouldn't have.
I know I shouldn't have. And as a matter of fact, Claudia, I'm not going to.
You're not?
It's much too precious a piece of china to give to you now, before you even move into the farm. Something might happen to it. You'd never forgive yourself.
Aunt Louisa, you are so thoughtful.
But you mustn't think I'm not going to give you a housewarming present. Claudia, here's my present to you. Now, all you and David have to do is pick it out for yourselves.
It's a book?
It's more than that, darling. It's practically a Bible. It's a mail-order catalog.
Your great-uncle Ralph told me once that no farm was complete without it. Now, I want you and David to look through it and write out a list of the things you really need. And when you do, I shall give it to you for a housewarming present.
Aunt Louisa, I don't know how to thank you. It's the
Don't
nice...
cry, child, and don't worry. Later on, you shall have the umbrella stand, too. We'll talk about that some other time.
Yes, some other time.
Well, there's Osgood. Dinner must be ready now. You were early, and so was he. Certainly has been an evening for surprises.
It certainly has. Wonderful surprises.
What's that song?
La, 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 la. It's a little private tune of ours. Dum, 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 dum. La, 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 la.
If your family were asked, they'd certainly agree that Mom is a hard worker and she deserves a break now and then. One break that's increasingly popular with housewives is the pause that refreshes. Why don't you pause for ice-cold Coca-Cola during the day's work? You'll discover it's a mighty good idea to work refreshed.
Excuse me a moment, Mr. King.
Why, certainly, Aunt Louisa. I trust you'll forgive my informality, but I don't know you by any other name.
My dear boy, Aunt Louisa is perfectly all right. Tell me, Mr. King, in your opinion, was it a mistake to give David and Claudia a mail-order catalog for a housewarming present?
Well, what could possibly be wrong?
Some people run wild when they look at the pictures, Mr. King. They order everything in sight. If David doesn't watch out, I rather suspect that Claudia may... Well, her eyes may be bigger than her pocketbook.
I hope that won't happen, Aunt Louisa. But I think that tomorrow Claudia's going to go to work on that catalog all by herself.
Oh, dear, I hope she doesn't do anything foolish.
Well, I hope she won't either, but I'm going to listen in and find out. Goodbye, Aunt Louisa. And as I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
An episode of the soap opera Claudia, sponsored nationwide by Coca-Cola Independent Syndication, from April 7th, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Would you do me a favor? Thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be here each and every time we roll around on your favorite station. Now, if you could also do me a favor, because our programs are also available, if you miss a day on the station, you don't have to miss a single show. You can hear them through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or through Amazon's Audible app. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And you can also find our shows at my webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and you can contact me there, classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on your dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.